Yo, welcome to Fast Forward Mindset Motivational Podcast. I'm your host, Coach James. This is where we rewire your thoughts, reset your mindset, and fast forward your life. No more rewinding, just discipline, motivation, and the truth you need to become unstoppable. If you're ready to elevate your mindset and take control of your future, you're in the right place. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. So yeah, y'all, we at that time of year to where it is New Year's, 2026 to be exact. And I'm sure a lot of us, like always, like normal, has all these New Year's resolutions that we want to achieve this year. And it almost becomes like a joke. Now, I'm not laughing at you, and I'm not laughing at myself as I say that. But the reason why I use the word joke is because a lot of times we have all these New Year's resolutions in mind for the up and coming year. And sadly enough, they become a joke because we don't do anything about them. And then throughout the year, we're laughing at ourselves saying, this New Year's, my resolution was to do this, to achieve that, to make this happen. And ironically enough, it just never happens. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. If you have not followed the podcast, make sure you hit follow the podcast. By following the podcast, you will never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. So make sure you hit that follow button. But back to today's episode. Now, y'all, I'll tell y'all, I didn't make or set any New Year's resolutions this year. Now, I've got plans, but I didn't set any resolutions because for myself, I've set goals through all of last year, weekly, daily, semi-monthly, and I achieved a lot of those goals. And so I didn't particularly this year say, hey, in 2026, this is going to be my New Year's resolution because I already know that I'm going to set goals throughout the year. I want to set myself up for success like I've done the last couple of years when it comes to New Year's resolutions, right? I don't want to be that guy that say, hey, my New Year's resolution was just a joke because I wanted to do it. I never did it. So instead of me sitting around telling myself what I want to achieve in 2026, I just set goals throughout the year. And luckily for me, I've stuck into them and I've been achieving them. I say the biggest goal for myself that I struggle with achieving is the weight loss. And I feel like everybody struggle with weight loss because it's one of those things where you want it to happen, but do you really want it to happen? My biggest thing is that when I knew I was going to lose weight or have a goal to lose weight, I started thinking like, man, I'm not going to be able to wear my favorite jeans no more. I'm not going to be able to wear my favorite shirt no more. I'm not going to be able to wear this. I'm not going to be able to wear that because once I shed this 30 pounds, that stuff's not going to fit no more. And so for me, weight loss is always a struggle because I start thinking about what I'm not going to be able to wear versus me having to buy new clothes because I done gained more weight. So that I thought that was funny to add to this conversation because weight loss is one of the resolutions that a lot of us tend to have set for ourselves throughout the year and even for a New Year's resolution, and we just don't do it for whatever reason. Now, my reasoning behind it may be different than yours, but my number one reason that I usually don't tend to lose weight is because I don't want to not be able to wear that shirt anymore. But New Year's just felt like a normal day to me. It wasn't nothing really extravagant. I didn't feel a day older or I didn't feel a year younger, which I don't know if I ever feel a year younger. It's kind of funny. I was having a conversation with a young lady a couple months back, and she was like, "Hey, I seen your page, and I hear all the motivational stuff you do, and congratulations. And how old are you?" And I was like, I'm an old guy. I'm 47." And she's like, "You're 47 years young, okay?" It's like, okay, I'll take that. But yeah, so I didn't feel any older or younger on New Year's Day. It was just another day for me. And I don't know if it was just another day for you, but it was just another day. But I really, really understood that New Year's Day is the start of a new year. Whatever you struggle with in 2025, whatever cards you were dealt in 2025, you can make things different because it's a new year. It's 2026. I'll say that now. Y'all can be like, it's 2026 because Coach James said so. But yeah, it's a new year now. And so all of your past struggles in 2025, you don't have to deal with anymore in 2026. Now, if you had a lot of success in 2025, of course, you're looking definitely forward to 2026. I was sharing a story with someone the other day about how successful I feel like I was in 2025, and I shared with this person like 2026, I'm excited to go into it because I know that the things I did in 2025, 2026 is only going to get better for me because I'm going to continue to excel. I'm going to continue my self growth path, and I'm going to continue my healing journey to continue to be better and live better. So that's what 2026, the new year, really meant for me, y'all. That's why I told you I didn't really set any goals. Mine's is a continuation of things that I've already been doing. And let me just talk a little bit more about this self growth because this is very important for you and myself for the next coming years and so on. 2 years ago, I started thinking about myself internally about how I spend all this money on Nikes, how I like to wear polo t-shirts, uh, how I like to spend money at True Religion and wear the jeans and all that good stuff. And I was like, James, you spend all this money on materialistic things. What does that get you? You just look nice that day? Everybody know you got on True Religion jeans? Nice polo shirt, bro. I mean, it's just a compliment. And so I told myself, how can I really, really make myself improve? It was like this aha moment for me. And it was like, aha, aha, coming to America. Ha ha, taste soup. But it was that moment. And I told myself, like, I gotta spend money on me, invest in me. Not material things, but invest in myself. And what I mean by invest is yourself, spend time with yourself. Read books for yourself. Start a gratitude journal for yourself. It's just these small things that we don't want to invest time in because we feel like that we're going to miss something because we're spending 30 minutes with ourselves. And I tell you, that's just not true. But my story is that I invested in myself. I met a friend who was in these self-help classes, self leadership classes. Let me just say that's what they were. They were leadership courses. At least that's how they framed them. And so I went to this leadership course, and I did 2 sessions of it. It lasted 2 weekends, and then that was the first session, and then the second session was like the Excel version of the course, and that lasted Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I mean, these courses were so long, and it was like your whole 12, 15 hour day. You're just drained afterwards, right? I mean, sweating and your voice is gone. That type of draining, but emotional draining is the word I should use. But it was one of those things where it was a good moment for myself because I invested time and I spent money on something for a leadership course other than buying a nice pair of shoes that's only going to make me feel good for 5 hours, other than buying a polo shirt that I'm only going to wear one time and never wear it again. This course I took helped me grow. And from my growth, it excelled my growth and continued my growth. And so then I started to really realize, like, the key here is growth, self growth. Now, let me just say this for the record, because when you start feeling good about yourself and you take these self growth courses and you start to feel yourself growing, you try to get everybody else to grow the way you grow. And what happens is that you become judgmental. You start to force people to have the same level of growth that you have. And so I'll say this: you can't make someone be something that you are. You can't make someone do something that they're not willing to do. So when it comes to growth, only focus on yourself. You can't make someone grow because you're growing, right? And so I'll say, if you're interested in self growth for this year, focus on yourself. That's why they call it self growth. Not your neighbor growth, not your husband or wife growth. It's self growth. It's all about you. Okay. Yes, it's all about you. In a moment. So once I invested in myself, like I said, I did the one course, I did the second course. By the time I got done with that, I felt so complete with life and where I was, and I wanted to continue my growth journey. And so I started the gratitude journal, and then I started the daily affirmations. And then I started to look in the mirror and say, James, you are an intelligent African American man. James, you are an intelligent man who always thought that no one would take you serious. James, you are an intelligent man to be one of the top leaders at work. I was intelligent enough to start a podcast and to keep a podcast. That doesn't get any better than that. And so 2026, you should focus on self growth. One way you can grow is that listening to my podcast. There's no charge to you. There's no fees assessed. The only thing is it's going to take you time for you to have to invest in listening and take what I share with you and really put it into action. Right? I'm giving y'all free game for self growth. It don't get no better than that. I paid $1,000+ for self growth. I'm taking what I learned and I'm sharing it with you all for self growth. Because that's what this podcast is all about. Sharing how to improve your mindset and to live a positive, happy, and healthy lifestyle. Doesn't get any better than that. I mean, I would say for me, I don't know if you feel the same way. So tune in a couple times a week. Read books. Educate your mind, educate yourself. Reading is very fundamental. You'd be surprised what reading actually can and will do for you. One thing that I've got to reading books is that it helps me understand that I'm not the only one that has had this struggle. I'm not the only one that has struggled with that. I'm not the only one that has been through this. And so that's what reading does. It really, really helps you understand that. If you're reading self improvement books, now if you're into murder mysteries, you're into fantasy, sex, and all that, I don't know what you're gonna get from that. It may help you in the sex world, but but I don't know about self growth. but but reading really helped me grow as well. So yeah, it's really where you want to be in 2026. I wouldn't continue to take years for granted if I was you, and I wouldn't continue to take time for granted. We're all on a short watch. I know some of us may think like I still got 60 years to live. That's very well possibly may be true. But at the same time, do you want to live another 60 horrible years, or do you want to live another 60 great years? Simple as that. So 2026 should look like self-growth for yourself and myself. That way we continue to excel in life and continue to enjoy life. So y'all, like I said, thank y'all for listening. I really appreciate my listeners for listening. Just so y'all know, when I post and I upload a podcast, I always pose a question tied to the podcast. So if you go to Spotify, you go to Apple, that question is within the body of the episode description. Go answer it. And then once you answer it, comes back to me. Now, I'm not going to share your response, but I might bring it up on the episode to say, hey, I got a good response, or a person answered this question and they said that. But I'm not going to put you on blast, anything like that, and say, this person said this, unless you give me permission. So make sure you leave comments. Go check out my podcast, y'all. My podcast. Go check out my website. It's www.rewirethewayouthink.com. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's James Watkins at 40 and Fit Life Coach. If you're struggling today with thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. And as I always say, practice daily mindset rehabilitation. And that's my 2 cents in there, y'all. Peace. Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life, fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.